Hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. So we are going to make some homemade granolas.
Your smile lit up like a sunrise glow. Touch so
So hi guys, welcome back to the channel today we have a cooking day ahead. We are going to make some homemade granolas. The reason why I decided to make them is because I've not made them in a long time. Granolas are healthy, especially for people who love probiotic yogurts, and you can have it with mala, you can have it with any kind of pudding, you can have it with any kind of heavy juice, the one that you blended. So that is the reason why we decided to make granolas today. And keep watching. I hope you will love it. And if there are some adjustments you would want, maybe you are allergic to something, some of the nuts that we are going to use, feel free to adjust the recipe according to your nutritional needs. So keep watching. For this, we are using the measuring cup of a third cup. So you want to see how much oat we have left so that you can determine how many cups of nuts we'll need. So let's start with the oats. So that is now 1 cup. 1, 2, 3. That is 2 cups. That is 3 cups. That is 4 cups. That is 5 cups. So let's do 5 cups of oats. These are macadamia nuts.
Okay.
You want to grind them so that they are a bit smaller. So these are the almonds. We want to also grind them a bit. So these are the almonds. This is what they look like. As you can see, you want this consistency. There are like some big chunks, but there are also some finer ones. Now this one, we will also put them aside in our mix. So next we are going to grind our cashews, and for them, because they are bigger chunks, you want to break them down a bit like this, just to help the grinder. So that amount is enough now, because we have so many nuts we are using. If you don't have a lot of nuts to use, you go more on the types you have. So we're going to grind these as well. For our macadamia nuts, so this is the consistency we have as well. This way, and we want to have the bigger chunks as well. We don't want everything to be powder. You see, there are some chunks, so we're also going to put that here in our mix. And then that will be all for the ones that we are going to grind. So we can put away our grinder for now. So far in here we have 5 cups of oats, and it is the jumbo oats. We also have, this is macadamia, and then this is almonds, and then these are cashew nuts. Those are the ones we are going to grind only. So for the rest that we are not going to grind, for these two, these are like dried fruits. So these are golden raisins, these are the black raisins, and then we have a mixture of both. These are a mixture of the gold black raisins. So for these ones, we're going to use them after the granola is ready. So for now, the fillers we are going to use, we're going to use peanuts, and we're also going to use sunflower seeds. For this, we are going to use this cup measure. This is a 1/4 cup, and we are going to do 1 scoop for each. So 1 good scoop like that. or maybe let's do 2 scoops because it's a lot. So 2 scoops, because we want to have 2 containers of the granolas. And then for peanuts, we're not going to break them down because they are in small pieces. So we are going to also do 2 scoops. So 1 and then 2 scoops. So that will be all for our nuts. Then the next thing we are going to do, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of, this is cinnamon, but if you don't like cinnamon, you can do nutmeg. But for us, we like cinnamon, so we are going to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon to this mixture. The next thing we are going to do is add our cooking oil. In our mixing bowl, we have the oats on the bottom, then we have the nuts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 types of nuts, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon. Then we're going to add a third cup of cooking oil and 2/3 of honey. So let's do that. So first things first, we start with the honey.
Wild and free.
We're going to do the other. That's it. And then maybe we can add just a little bit. For honey, it depends on the level of sweetness you want. Because this is a whole amount, we are going to use like, I would say that is like a third times 2, so that is 2/3, which makes about 165 ml. So that is all the honey we are going to need for this recipe. And then the next thing we are going to do is the cooking oil. For cooking oil, we are going to just need 1 of these, a third cup, and that is to help it not stick on the pan. So we're going to do half a cup like that, and that will be it. So now we're going to do the mixing part with the spatula.
Rhythm of hearts. No need to pretend. This love story will never end. Whisper your name.
Now for the next part is just the mixing of our ingredients.
Ocean rippling with ease. Heartbeats sink into this melody. You and I forever. Wild and free.
So guys, as you can see, this is the reason I was telling you, as you grind your nuts, don't let them like all be powdered. So you can see these are almonds, you can see some cashews, you can see some macadamia nuts, and then you make sure you mix well. You don't want them to be sticking together. You want them to have kind of like, yes, they are sticking together, but it can easily fall apart. And the reason we didn't, on normal times when we don't have a lot of raisins, we use like a cup of honey. But for today, because we have a lot of raisins, we don't want to use so much sweetener, because we're going to, like I said, we are going to add 3 types of raisins, and those are dried fruits that we are going to add after the granolas are done baking in the oven. So this is what you're going for, this consistency, as you can see, this consistency right here. We've mixed for about 5 minutes. So mix well for about 5 minutes. If I find a chunk like this one, I'm breaking it apart like this. You see, and then you continue mixing. That way, every single scoop will have all the ingredients that we've used. So now let's prepare the baking tray. This is the one we're going to use. Our baking tray is the same size as the oven, so we don't need to have another grill inside to hold it. That's why I chose this one. And then we're going to lay it with the baking paper. This is what is the measurement for this? 38 centimeters wide, which means it's wide enough for our baking tray. So this is what we're going to use. You want to take it like this, there, see, then you're going to just tear it like that, crumble it like this. And the reason we're doing this is so that it won't be so hard, and it will make it easy for us to lay our granolas. So you want to crumble it like twice. That is the first time, and then the second time. And then now we're going to lay our granolas. Our prepared baking tray. Our oven, because we're using a thin layer, we're going to bake for 25 minutes or 20. So we're going to set it to 30 so that 10 minutes will be for preheating, and then we're going to preheat at the temperature of 150 or 155. So this is 130, this is 200, so 150 is around right there. And then we're going to turn on the bottom induction stove only, because we don't want both parts it will burn. We're going to turn the down one, and for preheating we're going to put it at 150 for just 10 minutes. Now let's lay them on our sheet. Our granolas, as you can see, this is the consistency we ended up with. We're going to lay them on our baking sheet.
Eyes glow, touch so soft, where the seasons flow. We met where the stars take their flight. Every moment.
What we want is to lay a thin sheet with this, like that. And you want to make sure there are no ends that don't have, because they will end up burning if you use too. If your layer of the granolas is too thin, you might end up burning them. So that's why we make sure you spread them nicely like that. So the next thing we're going, sorry, just a minute. I'm going to put this inside there. So that is the layer you want. Now let's put the timer.
Where I reside, whisper your name in the rush of the breeze.
As I was saying, for our granolas, we're going to bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes because our oven heats up very well and we've already put it on preheat mode. So you're going to set 8 minutes. And the reason we're going to set for 8 minutes is because after every 8 minutes we want to come back and turn it and check, just to make sure everything is cooking on well and we don't end up burning. So I have my timer on 8 minutes, as you can see. Once I put it on the oven, I will hit start on my timer, and after 8 minutes I will take out my granolas and check. So let's go pop this in our oven.
Rush of the breeze, love like an ocean rippling with ease.
And you want to use the middle layer, like right there. The reason I'm using this is because it is a good distance from the bottom up, so it won't burn, and because the top layer we didn't turn it on, it's not going to burn on top. That is it. That is what we have. So now what we are going to do, we are going to reduce our timer for the granolas from 150 to 130, and then we are going to turn our minutes up to 30, because we are using 30 because we want them to bake for 25 minutes, and the 5 minutes is for when we are going to take it out and turn. So we are setting it like that because the timer will still be running.
What about the 8 minutes? We just said.
For the 8 minutes, after 8 minutes after the timer goes off, now, as you can see already the granolas are there. Now we put our timer for 8 minutes. So after 8 minutes, we come and check up on them, turn them, and then pop them in. As you can see, we just want to take it out. So we're going to turn it so that the bottom part can come up. So you can see it has already started getting that golden layer at the bottom. And at this stage, make sure you just turning everything. Don't leave some parts unturned because they are going to end up being burnt. I've made sure to turn everything, especially on the around the corners. I've made sure to turn everything, bring everything that was on bottom on top, and as you can see, they've already started getting that gold color. So now we want to lay them again, like that is what we have right now. So let's go pop it back in the oven. 8 minutes. This is our second turn. I like the way they look. We don't want them to be white, we want them to be like brown, gold, something like that. And then if you want to know if they are ready, you can just take some and taste. You can determine how long you want them to be on the oven for the last time. Just going to put it in for just 2 minutes only. That is a total of 18 minutes. So let's go. 2 minutes, done. consistency is okay for the oats. You want them to be brown. What we are going to do is mix our toppings for today. For this one, just 1 scoop is enough. This is a 1/4 cup. So we're just going to use a 1/4 cup of the gold raisins, 2 cups of these ones. That is 2 cups. One and a quarter. So that's our nuts for today. And then the reason I've done this because I want to make sure I get, so you can see this part has some top, so that is the reason I'm using a plate first. I'm going to make sure that I get rid of these parts. So guys, as you can see, this is everything I've removed, and this is what we are going to add to our raisins. So guys, go ahead and make sure you mix them well.
Take their flight. Every moment with you feels just right. Whisper your name in the rush of the breeze. Love like an ocean rippling with ease. Heartbeats sink into this melody.
And then we are going to set this aside for 30 minutes to 1 hour for it to cool down completely. And in between, I'm going to come back and just mix them up again, just to let them cool faster. See you in 30 minutes to 1 hour after it's already cool.
Waves on the shore. Every touch leaves me craving more. Eyes meet, world's colors collide with you. Love's where I reside.
As you've seen, we just transferred from the baking tray to this bowl, and the reason is because I want to plate just some to show you how you would eat them for an ideal breakfast, and then I also want to store the rest for later. So I'm going to plate, and for us, mostly we normally use the vanilla yogurt because it's white and it's creamy. So let's plate. I'll show you what you would for an ideal breakfast. So around that amount, and then you get some scoops of the granolas. We normally do like 5 scoops or 4. So 1, let's do 4 because the yogurt is a lot. 2, 3, 4. This right here, I don't know if you can see. That would be the ideal breakfast. And if you want to add a banana, you can add a banana, but you can also eat it like this. So you just mix it in so that every scoop you have will have some nuts in it, like that. Especially if you have probiotic yogurt, that would be the best option. And then this is a very healthy bite.
Cutting my chin as a turtle. Going point from the circle.